The child collapsed in front of me. 1 second, he was reaching for his inhaler on the pharmacy counter. The next, he was on the floor, gasping, choking, dying. His lips turned blue. 30 seconds, that's all I had. Call 911. I shouted at Marcus, the pharmacist, but I was already moving, already kneeling beside the boy. 7 years old, maybe 8. Dark hair, eyes wide with terror. Look at me, I said, forcing calm into my voice. You're going to be okay. A lie. But sometimes lies are kinder than truth. His inhaler had rolled under the display rack. Too far. No time. I grabbed the emergency albuterol from behind the counter. Broke protocol. Broke rules I'd sworn never to break again. But rules don't matter when a child is dying. Breathe with me, I whispered, administering the medication. In, out, that's it. His chest hitched. Once, twice. Nothing. My hands moved on instinct. Years of training I wasn't supposed to use anymore. Medical knowledge I wasn't allowed to practice. CPR, chest compressions, counting. Come on, I breathed. Come on, sweetheart. The pharmacy door burst open. I didn't look up. Couldn't. Every second mattered. What the hell? A man's voice. Deep, accented, furious. Not now, I snapped, continuing compressions. Then a gasp. The child's eyes fluttered open. Air rushed into his lungs. Color returned to his face. He was breathing. I sat back on my heels, shaking. Adrenaline crashing through my system. Alexei, the man pushed past me, dropping to his knees beside the boy. Alexei, look at me. The child Alexei clung to him. Papa, ... could, and single quotes, T ... breathe. I know the man's hands were gentle despite his size. You're okay now, I've got you. That's when I noticed them. 3 men in dark suits. Blocking the pharmacy entrance, hands inside their jackets, eyes scanning, watching, not cops. Something else. Marcus had gone pale, frozen behind the counter. The man stood, lifted Alexei like he weighed nothing. Only then did he look at me. Really look. Dark eyes, cold, calculating. The kind of eyes that saw everything. He was tall, broad-shouldered, expensive suit that couldn't hide the danger underneath. A face that might have been handsome if it wasn't so hard. Who are you? His voice carried authority. Command. I got to my feet, brushed off my knees, met those cold eyes, without flinching. The person who just saved your son's life. Something flickered across his face. Surprise, maybe. Sofia Martinez, I added when he didn't speak. I work here. You're a pharmacist. Pharmacy tech. I gestured to my name tag. But I used to be. I stopped, caught myself. His eyes narrowed. Used to be what? It doesn't matter. I turned to check on Alexei. He needs to see a doctor. That was a severe episode. His medication might need adjusting. I'll handle it. Dismissive. Final. He started for the door. His security moved with him. Synchronized. Professional. Wait. The word escaped before I could stop it. He paused, looked back. His inhaler technique is wrong, I said. That's why he couldn't use it. If someone doesn't show him the right way, this will happen again. For a long moment, he just stared at me, assessing, deciding something. What's your name? Alexei's small voice broke the silence. He was looking at me over his father's shoulder. You saved me. Sofia, I said softly. And you're Alexei, right? He nodded, smiled, a shy, sweet smile that transformed his pale face. His father's expression didn't soften, but something in his eyes changed. Victor, he said to one of the suits. Get her information. Then he was gone. Sweeping out of the pharmacy with Alexei in his arms, Victor stepped forward, pulled out a phone. Your full name, phone number, address. Why? I asked. Mr. Volkov will be in touch. My blood went cold. Volkov? I knew that name. Everyone in this city knew that name. Nikolai Volkov. Real estate mogul, philanthropist, and if the rumors were true, head of the Russian Bratva's American operations. I'd just saved the son of a Mafia boss. The black SUV arrived at my apartment the next morning. Victor emerged. Same suit. Same expressionless face. Ms. Martinez. Mr. Volkov requests your presence. I have work, I said. He's offering compensation for your time. Victor's tone didn't change. It concerns Alexei. The boy's been asking for you. That stopped me. I thought of Alexei's small face. His terrified eyes. The way he'd smiled when he learned my name. Fine, I said. But I have a shift at 3. I can't miss it. You'll be back in time. The drive took 20 minutes. Into the hills where houses became estates. The Volkov mansion was massive. Gates, security, cameras everywhere. But there were also flowers, a playground in the yard, a basketball hoop, a home, not just a fortress. Victor led me inside. Marble floors, high ceilings, art that probably cost more than I'd earn in a lifetime. But there were also toys scattered in corners. Children's drawings on the expensive refrigerator. Papa Alexei came running. Sofia came, you came. He crashed into me, hugged my legs. I froze. Then slowly carefully rested my hand on his dark hair. Hi, sweetheart. How are you feeling? Better, Papa said you might come. He said you could teach me about my inhaler. Over his head, I saw Nikolai. He stood in a doorway, watching, still in a suit, though he'd loosened his tie, still radiating that cold authority. But when he looked at his son, something softened, just slightly. Alexei, he said. Let Ms. Martinez breathe. It's Sofia, I said before I could stop myself. He can call me Sofia. Nikolai's eyes met mine, held Sofia then. Come. He led us to a sunroom. Light poured through floor-to-ceiling windows. Alexei chattered the whole way, telling me about his room, his books, his drawing of a dragon. For the next hour, I showed him proper inhaler technique, explained when to use it, how to recognize early symptoms, basic asthma management. Nikolai watched, silent, taking mental notes. You were a doctor, he said when Alexei ran off to get his dragon drawing. Not a question. I tensed. Medical student, I never finished. Why? That's personal. Most things are. He poured coffee from a silver pot, offered me a cup, but I make it my business to know the people around my son. I'm not around your son. I helped him once. That's all. Is it? He leaned back, studied me like I was a puzzle to solve. Alexei hasn't stopped talking about you. The lady who saved him, who made him laugh while teaching him to breathe. He trusts you. He just met me. Children are excellent judges of character. A pause. Why did you leave medical school? I shouldn't answer. Shouldn't give this dangerous man any information. But something in his eyes, something beyond the coldness made me speak. My father. The words tasted bitter. He was a surgeon. He made a mistake during a procedure. The patient died. He said I assisted. That I handed him the wrong instrument. That it was my fault. I'd never said it out loud before. Never told anyone the full truth. But it wasn't, Nikolai said. Not a question. A statement. No. But by the time I proved it, I'd already been expelled. Lost my license before I ever earned it. Racked up student debt for a degree I can't use. Where is your father now? I don't know. He disappeared after the investigation. Last I heard, he was in Europe, working for some private clinic. Something dark flashed across Nikolai's face. But it was gone before I could identify it. I have a proposition, he said. Alexei needs someone who understands his condition. Someone who can be here when episodes occur. Someone he trusts. You can hire a nurse, a doctor, anyone with actual credentials. I'm hiring you. I'm not qualified. You saved my son's life while licensed medical professionals froze. His voice was hard. Final. You're more qualified than most, Mr. Volkov. Nikolai. He set down his cup. And this isn't negotiable. Alexei needs you. I need someone I can trust with the most important person in my life. You don't even know me. I know enough. He pulled out his phone. Showed me a contract. 3 months. You'll live here. Manage Alexei's care. Ensure he stays healthy. In return, he named a figure that made my stomach drop. $50,000. More than I'd earn in 3 years of working 2 jobs. That's insane. I can't. You can. His eyes bored into mine. Unless you want to explain to Alexei why you're refusing to help him. Why the lady he trusts is walking away. It was manipulation. Pure and calculated. And it worked. I thought of my student loans. My tiny apartment. The way I couldn't afford decent food most weeks. I thought of Alexei's smile. His small hand in mine. The trust in his eyes. 3 months, I heard myself say. Then I go back to my life. 3 months, Nikolai agreed. We both knew it was a lie. Moving into the Volkov mansion was surreal. My room was bigger than my entire apartment. Private bathroom, walk-in closet, a view of the garden where Alexei played. "You need anything? Ask," Nikolai said, depositing my 2 sad suitcases by the door. "Food, clothes, whatever you require." "I'm fine, you're not." He glanced at my worn shoes, my thrift store jacket. "Victor will take you shopping tomorrow. You'll need appropriate attire." "I don't need. It's not a request." He turned to leave, paused. "Thank you. For staying. For Alexei." Then he was gone, leaving me alone in luxury I didn't deserve. The first week was strange. Adjustment. Alexei woke me early every morning. Excited to show me his latest drawing. To tell me his dreams. To ask endless questions about medicine and bodies and how things worked. He was brilliant. Curious, hungry for knowledge. And lonely. Mama died when I was little. He told me one afternoon. We were in the garden, checking his peak flow meter. I don't remember her much. Just her laugh, and she smelled like flowers. My heart cracked. I'm sure she was wonderful. "Papa says she would have liked you." He looked up at me. "Do you like Papa?" The question caught me off guard. I don't really know your father. He's nicer than people think." Alexei picked at the grass. "People are scared of him. But he reads to me every night, even when he's busy, and he always keeps his promises." I thought of Nikolai's cold eyes, his controlled demeanor, the way men in suits followed him everywhere. "I'm sure he's a good father," I said carefully. "The best," Alexei said with absolute certainty. I saw a little of Nikolai those first weeks. He left early, returned late. When we did cross paths, his nods were curt, professional. But I noticed things. How he always checked on Alexei before bed, no matter what time he came home. How his expression softened just slightly when his son laughed. How his knuckles were sometimes bruised. His jaw tight with stress he never acknowledged. And I noticed how he looked at me when he thought I wasn't watching. Like I was a problem he hadn't solved yet. A variable that didn't fit his equations. The first real conversation came 3 weeks in. I'd stayed up late, reading medical journals in the library. Trying to stay current with knowledge I couldn't practice. "Can't sleep." I jumped. Nikolai stood in the doorway. Suit jacket gone. Sleeves rolled up. A glass of amber liquid in his hand. "Just reading," I said. He moved into the room. Poured another glass. Offered it to me. "I don't drink," I said. "Neither do I usually." He sat in the chair across from mine. "But tonight calls for exceptions." Something in his voice made me ask. "What happened?" "Business. Nothing you need to worry about. The bruises on your knuckles suggest otherwise." His eyes snapped to mine. Surprised I'd noticed. That I'd dare mention it. "You're observant," he said. "Occupational habit. Medical training. The training you lost because your father was a coward who blamed his failures on his daughter." The bluntness startled me. "You investigated me." "Of course I did. You live with my son." He took a sip. "Your father's in Vienna now. Working under an assumed name. I could have him arrested, deported, and destroyed." My heart raced. "Why haven't you?" "Because you asked me not to look into your past. And I respect that." He set down the glass. "But know this, Sofia. If you ever want justice, say the word." "Why? Why would you do that?" "Because you saved Alexei." Because you care for him without expecting anything in return. Because in 3 weeks, you've given my son something I haven't seen in years. What? Joy. His voice was soft, almost vulnerable. He laughs now, really laughs. He talks about his day, his dreams. He's not afraid anymore. The moment stretched between us, charged, dangerous. You're a good father, I said finally. I'm a terrible father. He stood, moved to the window. I've brought him into a world of violence, surrounded him with danger. His mother died because of me, because of who I am, what I do. Alexei doesn't see it that way. He sees someone who loves him, who protects him, who reads to him every night. Nikolai turned, our eyes met. And for the first time, I saw past the cold exterior, past the dangerous reputation, to the man underneath, a man carrying grief, guilt, fear, a man trying desperately not to fail the one person he loved. Thank you, he said quietly, for seeing that. Then he left, taking his carefully controlled walls with him. But something had shifted, changed. We both felt it. The 4th week, everything fell apart. I was helping Alexei with his breathing exercises when my phone rang. Unknown number. Miss Martinez. A woman's voice, professional. Cold. This is Alina Volkov, Nikolai's sister. We need to talk about your father. My stomach dropped. How do you... Your father, Dr. Martinez, or should I say, Dr. Torres. He's using an alias in Vienna. Did you know? I haven't spoken to him in years. Interesting. Because he's been asking about you. About where you work. Where you live. A pause, heavy with meaning. He's also been asking about Nikolai Volkov. About this family. Ice filled my veins. What are you saying? I'm saying your father didn't just ruin your life, Ms. Martinez. 6 years ago, he worked briefly for the Volkov family. As a private physician, he was treating Nikolai's wife, Irina. She died during a procedure. A simple procedure that should have been routine. No, 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 no. He killed Nikolai's wife, I whispered. We could never prove it. He disappeared too quickly. Changed his name. But now he's back. And he's been hired by the Morozov family. Our enemies. The phone fell from my hand. Everything clicked into place. The timing. The opportunity. Why Nikolai had really investigated me. Why he'd wanted me here. Not for Alexei. For revenge. I was bait. A way to draw my father out of hiding. The door opened. Nikolai entered. Stopped when he saw my face. Sofia, you knew. My voice shook. You knew who my father was. What he did. His expression shuddered. Yes. Did you hire me to get to him? Was this all? Was Alexei even really? Don't. His voice turned sharp. Dangerous. Don't question how I feel about my son. Don't you dare. But you used me. To find him, too. Yes. No apology. No excuse. Just brutal honesty. When I learned who you were, I saw an opportunity. Your father killed my wife. Blamed others. Disappeared. I've been searching for him for 6 years. And then you walked into my life. His daughter. Working at a pharmacy. Using your mother's maiden name. It was too perfect. I felt sick. So everything you said. Everything, it was all a lie. No. He moved closer. I stepped back. Finding you was strategic. But everything else, Alexei's attachment to you. The way you've helped him, that's real. What's growing between us is real. There's nothing between us. Liar. His eyes burned into mine. You feel it too. This pull, this impossible thing neither of us wanted. I want to leave. You can't. You can't keep me here. I can. His jaw tightened. The Morozov family knows about you now. Alina made sure of that. They think you're important to me. They'll use you to get to your father. To get to me. You're safer here. Safe. You've made me a target. I'll protect you. You'll what? Nikolai. Kill more people. Destroy more lives. I won't be part of this. I started for the door. His hand caught my wrist. Not painful, but firm. Please. The word sounded foreign in his mouth, like he rarely said it. I know I should have told you. I know I've destroyed any trust you had in me. But Alexei needs you. And he stopped. Swallowed hard. I need you to stay. Why? Because in 6 weeks, you've made me remember who I wanted to be. Before violence became survival. Before losing Irina hardened everything inside me. Before I forgot what it felt like to want something beyond revenge. His grip loosened. Became gentle. You're changing me, Sofia. And I'm selfish enough to not want to lose that. My heart pounded. Tears burned my eyes. I don't know if I can forgive this, I whispered. I know, I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm asking for time. To prove that what we have is real. To keep you safe. An explosion of sound cut him off. Gunfire, shouting, breaking glass. Nikolai's entire demeanor changed. Shifted into something cold. Lethal. Stay here, he ordered, pulling a gun from somewhere I hadn't seen. Don't move, don't. Alexei, I was already running. Alexei's in his room. I have to. I'll get him. You hide. Like hell. I'm not leaving him. We ran together, down the hall. Toward Alexei's room. More gunfire. Closer now. The door to Alexei's room was open. The window shattered. Curtains blowing in the wind. The room was empty. No. Nikolai's voice broke. No, no, no. A note on the bed. Blocky handwriting. We have the boy. You have 2 hours. Come alone. You know where. Nikolai crumpled the note. His hand shook. The gun wavered. I'd never seen him like this. Uncontrolled. Terrified. I'll kill them, he whispered. I'll kill every single one of them. We'll get him back. I grabbed his arm. Made him look at me. We'll get Alexei back. Together. This isn't your fight. Yes, it is. He's my patient. And I swallowed. And I love him too. Something in Nikolai's eyes cracked. Sofia. Save it. Right now, we get Alexei. Everything else can wait. He nodded. Gathered himself. Became the dangerous man again. But when he looked at me, I saw something new. Something vulnerable and desperate and entirely human. If anything happens to him, it won't, I said with certainty I didn't feel. Because we won't let it. The warehouse on the docks was exactly the cliché I expected. Dark. Abandoned. Perfect for an ambush. Nikolai's men surrounded the building, armed, silent, waiting for orders. They'll have guards, Nikolai said, checking his weapon, cameras, traps. This is suicide. Then we be smarter. I pulled out my phone. Medical apps I'd downloaded. I have midazolam in my kit. Sedative. If I can get close enough. Absolutely not. You're staying with Victor. They won't expect me. A woman, unarmed. I can walk right in. Tell them I want to trade myself for Alexei. While they're deciding, I inject whoever's closest. Create chaos. You and your men move in. That's insane. You have a better idea. He didn't. We both knew it. I hate this, he growled. I hate putting you in danger. If anything happens to you, it won't. You don't know that. Neither do you. I met his eyes. But I know Alexei's in there, scared, alone, needing us. So we're going to be brave. For him. Nikolai's jaw worked. Then, slowly, he nodded. 10 minutes. That's all I can give you. Then we're coming in. 10 minutes is all I need. The walk to the warehouse door was the longest of my life. Every step felt wrong, dangerous, stupid. But I kept seeing Alexei's face, his smile. The way he'd hugged me that first day. I knocked. The door opened. A man with cold eyes and a gun. I'm here to trade, I said, voice steady. Me for the boy. He laughed. Why would we trade? Because I'm what you really want. Dr. Martinez's daughter. The one your boss has been looking for. The one who can lead you to him. Interest flickered. Wait here. The door closed. I counted seconds. Checked the syringe in my jacket pocket. The door opened again. Different man. Older, scarred, dangerous. Come. I stepped inside. The warehouse smelled of oil and decay. Men with guns everywhere. Too many to count. And in the center, tied to a chair, Alexei. His face was tear-streaked, but brave. So brave, Sofia, his voice cracked with hope. Hey, sweetheart. I forced a smile. I'm here to take you home. How touching, the scarred man said. The little doctor playing hero. Your father did the same thing once. Right before he killed Volkov's wife. My father's a coward, I said. I'm nothing like him. We'll see. Bring her closer. A guard grabbed my arm. Rough, painful, but exactly what I needed. In one motion, I pulled the syringe, jabbed it into his thigh, pushed the plunger. He yelled, stumbled, fell. Chaos erupted. Gunfire, shouting. I ran for Alexei. Cut his bonds with the small knife in my boot. Military surplus, a gift from Victor. Run. I pushed him toward the back door. Run, and don't look back. But Alexei didn't run. He clung to me. And then Nikolai was there. Moving like violence incarnate. Taking down men with brutal efficiency. His security flooded in. Professional. Lethal. The scarred man raised his gun. Aimed at Nikolai's back. I didn't think. Didn't hesitate. Grabbed the fallen guard's weapon. Fired. The recoil knocked me back. The noise deafened me. But the man fell, dropped his gun, clutched his shoulder. Nikolai spun, saw me, saw what I'd done. Sofia, he was at my side in seconds. Taking the gun, checking me for injuries. Are you hurt? Did they? I'm fine. Alexei is Alexei. Right here. Victor had him. Safe, whole. It was over. We'd won. Alexei was safe. I started shaking. Delayed shock. Adrenaline crash. Everything hitting at once. Nikolai pulled me against him. Held me tight. You're okay. You're safe. We're all safe. I shot someone. I whispered. You saved my life. His voice was rough, raw. You saved all of us. Alexei wriggled free from Victor. Launched himself at both of us. His small arms wrapped around our legs, holding us together. You came, he sobbed. Both of you came for me. Nikolai knelt, gathered his son into his arms, reached for me with his other hand, pulled me down. We stayed like that. The three of us, holding each other, alive, a family, broken and dangerous and impossible, but real. 2 months later, the world looked different. My father was in custody, extradited to face charges for Irina's death, and for the medical fraud that had cost me everything. I'd reclaimed my name, my license, my future. The medical board fast-tracked my reinstatement. Turns out having a legitimate billionaire now. Nikolai had made good on his promise to leave the Bratva as a character witness helped. I stood in the Volkov garden, watching Alexei chase butterflies, his breathing easy, strong, healthy. You're thinking too hard. Nikolai's arms came around me from behind, pulled me against his chest. I'm thinking about how much has changed. Good change or bad? Terrifying change. I leaned into him. 3 months ago, I was barely surviving. Now I'm living in a mansion with a reformed crime lord and his son, who I love, both of them. I felt his smile against my hair. Both of us. Unfortunately, I turned in his arms, met those dark eyes that no longer seemed cold. You've ruined me for normal men. Good. He kissed me, soft, thorough, a promise. Because you've ruined me for anyone else. For anything else. You're it for me, Sofia Martinez. That's Dr. Sofia Martinez now. My mistake. His lips curved. Dr. Martinez. Love of my life. Mother to my son in all the ways that matter. Will you make it official? He dropped to one knee, pulled out a ring. Simple, elegant, perfect. Marry me, he said. Let me spend the rest of my life proving I deserve you. Let me give Alexei the mother he's been asking for. Let me be the man you see when you look at me. Not the one I was, but the one I'm becoming because of you. Tears blurred my vision. That's not fair. Using Alexei to... Sofia. Alexei came running. Say yes, please say yes. Papa bought me a book about weddings and everything. I laughed through tears. Looked at this man who'd changed everything. Who'd been my enemy. My captor. My salvation. Who'd become my home. Yes, I whispered. Yes to all of it. Alexei cheered. Nikolai stood. Slipped the ring on my finger. kissed me like we had all the time in the world. And maybe we did. No more running. No more hiding. No more pretending. Just us. This impossible family, built on danger and desperation and a love none of us had been looking for. But sometimes the best things are the ones we never see coming. The ones that arrive in a moment of crisis. When a child collapses. When a stranger becomes everything. When revenge transforms into redemption. When you save a life and lose your heart, and realize, finally, that maybe you were the one who needed saving all along.